give us a like and subscribe if you feel the need for speed.
We're live again. We're live again.
Going hot.
I shouldn't be nearly that happy about
Going in hot. Full, not full lobby. Hang on. I was about to say full lobby. Wrong button. I'm the king of wrong buttons. If you notice on my...
Nope. I think Joseph got that title. Oh,
well,
man.
he hits wrong buttons at way wrong times.
Oh,
I hit wrong buttons. Well, sometimes I hit them at wrong times. Like during a mission, I'll hit the wrong button. But yeah, most of the time.
Hey, you, bud.
Yeah.
These mints are little
minty?
pink. They're little pink brains.
Are they minty?
They're little pink brains.
Are they
That's
peppermint?
what the mints are little.
Or are they spearmint?
They're sort of
A wintergreen? A Canadian maple. Speaking of Canada, I don't know if I've asked you this question before, but there is a restaurant that resides out of Canada, and it's a barbecue restaurant, and this restaurant serves really great barbecue, which is weird because it's from Canada, but
I don't know why you would assume we wouldn't be able to barbecue.
well, I mean, whenever anybody thinks of barbecue,
It's Canada, it's not Ethiopia.
you think Memphis, Tennessee, you think Carolina, Kansas City, you think that when it comes to good barbecue. But hang on a second.
You know what?
I'm not.
Okay, because there's something really funny about you mentioning this today, of all days. Go ahead.
Hang on. Okay, so there is a place in Naples, Florida. Not Naples, Italy. Which they do kind of do a lot of Naples, Italy.
They do
decor.
a lot of stuff, but they don't speak Italian then.
Oh no. Actually, my dad's condo that he owns, his neighbors are Italian, and they throw some fucking great ass parties.
Oh,
A lot of food.
Well,
Lots.
yeah, they're kind of famous for lots of food.
But there is a place, and see, I didn't put two and two together till I realized there was in Naples, Italy. Well, no, never mind. That doesn't even fucking match. Never mind. Anyway,
You know what's funny that you should mention the whole barbecue thing today?
Hey, there's a restaurant called Nickelbob's. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It's based out of
Florida.
No, hang on. It's based out of somewhere in Canada. They have all kind of.
In Canada.
They have all kind of, like, if you go in this restaurant, it's nothing but Canadian trophies from Canadian barbecue fest and all this stuff, and then they have a lot of their owners. They have a lot of fishing trophies too. They do a lot of fishing.
Yeah, we do a lot of fishing up here. We have a lot of great sport fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't think of the names of the owners. Yeah, I bet you if I said the names of the owners, you would be like, okay. If you knew anything about fishing, you'd be like, okay, this guy's like, it's kind of like the Bill Dance of Canada, or the Roland Martin of Canada. I don't know if you know those two guys.
Well, let's see. There's a couple of big guys in fishing here. Let's see. There was Waschuk and Izumi. Bob Izumi.
That sounds a little bit familiar, but I don't.
Bob Izumi should sound familiar. He's been a trophy fisherman for a really long time. Really. Well, I don't even know if he's alive anymore now. If he is, he's old.
I'm heading to my office just to get
Henry
some
Waschuk,
snacks.
though, he was big, and then he got busted. He
was looking at the deck.
he got busted. He got
glassware,
arrested.
a little bit
He
too
got
long.
arrested. Well, arrested. He was charged and convicted of setting up this shit with the TV show, like catching fish off tape and then hooking them onto his line and then starting it, or handing him the rod and stuff like it. But they were actually breaking fishing laws here, doing their setups for the fucking show. Well, I'm sorry, but nobody. I don't care if you're doing a fucking TV show or nothing. You don't fuck around with our natural resources here, because we'll fuck you up. Right? So they fuck him up. Yeah, the laws are serious, and they should be.
I see the laws are really serious here. Are you talking about like fishing laws?
Yeah, fishing laws, hunting laws, very serious shit. They don't screw around.
Now, trout fishing here is really strict.
Yeah.
A little bit too strict, honestly, in my opinion. There's one place that you have to go.
Well, listen. Let me just so you know. Restrictions on fishing at whatever level they're at are there specifically to make sure that you don't fucking run out of fish, okay?
Yeah.
Because let's face it, it's happened in a lot of places, and a lot of places have to add fish to their system because they just don't fucking have them anymore. Because of that, and because of poaching. Because people don't give a shit about the law.
Well,
so there you are. Now,
food,
now let's look at it from the other side of the equation rather than just as the fisherman. Let's look at it from the conservation side and say, well, let's not fuck around with this because we need these fish down the road. Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you do, but I mean, there's a fine line, because some of these fishermen that fish like a certain type of fish and do it a lot, they're getting it for food and stuff like that.
Well,
they're not getting it for sport.
You have to have, in this country, if you want to be a subsistence fisherman, I'm sure there are channels to go through. Because there are people who live out on the, especially on the East Coast and the West Coast of this country, who simply wouldn't survive if it weren't for being able to fish and smoke fish and store fish and salt fish, all that, you know.
Exactly.
So yeah, but that's a different sort of thing from sport fishing, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well,
it's a whole different class of fishing. In other words, so you can't put sport fishing limits in the same category, can you?
Well, see, yeah. Well, see, like sport fishing around here, the most is you got trout, and you've also got largemouth bass is the biggest, obviously. But if I was to catch a damn 20 to 30 pound largemouth bass, I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna let it go. No. I don't give a fuck what if the law says that you gotta let whatever the hell go. No.
If you catch something you're not allowed to have, you better let it go.
Well, I mean, you're allowed to have a certain amount, you know. But like trout is more strict than bass, because bass runs, we've got plenty.
Yeah.
Trout, on the other hand,
And like I said, there's good reasons for trout to be more restricted.
I mean,
Good reasons for it.
me personally, I've ate trout and I don't like it.
Okay.
But there again, though, if I was to bank a nice trophy trout, I'm definitely going to keep it. I have yet to do that. I have yet to do that. Like, there's this one place around here. It's like 2-hour drive away. Okay. You have to have, well, obviously a fishing license. Then you have to have a trout stamp on the fishing license. Then, on top of that, you have to have, on top of that, you have to have a club membership. But there's one day out of the year that anybody, you don't have to have a license or nothing. You can go all day and you can fish and you can keep as many as you want.
Wow, that just weirds me out, man. Because seriously, the fishing, there's like two or three different levels of fishing license you can buy, right?
Yeah.
There's, of course, you can get a weekend license if you're just here for the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Or if you just want to go fishing for the weekend, it's just cheap, dirt cheap shit, right?
That's one of them things I get in Florida.
No, but then, there's what's called the conservation license, right? And with a conservation license,
it's a year license.
The limits, they're all it's a year, but it's a conservation license. You have lower limits.
Yeah.
So if you choose to get a cheaper license and you only go fishing once in a while and you're not that big on keeping that many, great, grab a conservation license and it's cheaper, and then there's the full license. But once you get the full license,
that's how it is here.
You can fish for any species that's open anywhere in the province.
That's the lifetime here. And
no, that's just the general 1 year fucking license here. You can fish for any species that's open anywhere in the province with that license. Yeah. And it doesn't cost you a penny more, and you don't need a stamp, and you don't need to fuck around.
Oh yeah.
You just go and catch them.
Well, that's kind of like
what this fucking stamp bullshit is about.
Well, that's just this one part of this whole state. Okay. That's just one area. Because the reason why they do that is because those trout are farm raised trout. The river is natural, but if you go up to the top of the river, there's a farm, and you can look at the trout there, and oh God, they're really healthy. They're really color is great, and
you know what? If you went to a place called Hagersville, Ontario, to you have like to the gypsum mine. They have gypsum mines there. It's huge gypsum mine.
Yeah.
You know, for making drywall and plaster and all that shit. They're very deep mines, and they have to pump a lot of water up out of the mines.
Yeah.
And what they do is they pump it up into these big ponds that they've made all around the place, and they stock these big ponds with trout.
Mm-hmm.
And they feed them, and they keep them going, and these big ponds have enormous, huge fucking trout in them. Huge things.
Yeah.
And once a year they have a lottery where a couple of people from the CGC.
Only local.
No, only from the CGC company.
Oh.
Only from the plant and the mine, right? It's a mine with a drywall factory built right on top of it. Okay.
Okay.
So No, only people from the company. It's 1 day a year during the company picnic. They have a lottery, and
Oh,
those few people are allowed to fish in there, and that's it. That's all.
well, how
Other than
many
that, the
can they
place is
keep?
really well guarded. Well, these ponds are enormous, man. They're pumping
No, I mean, like, how many? Is there a
millions of
limit?
gallons of water a day out of the. Oh, I don't know. I didn't even bother asking. I was only
See,
there on a tour of the plant,
see, there's a place
and
here.
one sheet of drywall is a quarter-mile long.
You can.
It's always a quarter of a mile long.
There's a place here
One sheet of drywall, and it's.
you can pay $12 to fish all day, but you can only keep 5.
Oh,
And they have different ponds like that, but like one pond be catfish, one pond would be bass, another pond be trout, another pond be crappie. You know,
oh,
$12. You don't have to have a license or nothing. It's privately owned.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, there's a club. We have a club in town here. I used to belong to it. There's a fish and game club, and it's a weird place because it's right in the city. But it's this enormous pond that is spring fed, and they have aerators in the pond. They have like 2 big aerators in the
yeah,
pond.
that's how
Okay.
yeah, that's how this place is.
Yeah, and they stock it twice a year. But it's completely private. You have to be a member, and um, they do all kind of crazy shit out there. They let the cops train out there because there's like this whole big woods that goes with the place. So they let the cops do training out there in the woods, and the cops during some of the big days in the summer, when all like big club days, everybody gets together. They actually have the cops bringing police dogs down there for people